Alright, everyone, welcome to my World Cup 2026 predictions. I'm woeful at predictions, woeful at everything in life. So let's keep that trend going. I'm using Football Meets data to predict the World Cup because you don't just pick like who comes first, second, or third. If you scroll all the way down, you can actually pick each individual match and get a score going, and I think that could be interesting. It might be an interesting video to make afterwards, see like how many I got right, how many I got wrong, and just how low IQ am I, exactly. So this is going to be quite interesting to do. So you can select by rounds, round one, round two, round three, and then afterwards you can do the round 32 onwards. So it could be quite interesting. There's also 8 third best place teams to go through. So again, that could be also an interesting one to try and predict. And because it's not just me picking the teams on this one, because it goes by scoreline, goal difference, etc. So let's just get into this and see how badly I'm going to be able to predict this. So first match is Mexico against South Africa. I do think Mexico are going to win. In fact, I actually like this Mexico squad. Reason being is that one, they've got nice jerseys, and two, I play with a lot of their players in FIFA. A lot of them are free agents, so I use them a lot. And that's the type of knowledge that you're going to get with this video. So just bear in mind, there's no actual ball knowledge here. It's literally just what I feel like as I'm speaking. So I'm going to say a 3-1 victory to Mexico on match day 1. Going into the Friday, 4 a.m. 4 fucking a.m. for a match is woeful. And it's South Korea against the Czech Republic. Now, the Czech Republic beat Ireland in the semi-final playoff for the World Cup. So if we had beaten the Czech Republic, and I do think we would have beat Denmark in the final for the playoff, this would be us playing at 4 a.m. on a Friday morning. I'd have work at fucking 8 o'clock, so I'd be screwed doing that. But probably just as well we didn't qualify for that. Anyway, South Korea against the Czech Republic. What do I think the scoreline is going to be? I think it's going to be 2-2. I was going to say 2-1 to the Czech Republic, or Czechia, whatever way you want to fucking say them. But I can't really, I don't know. As I don't know what the Czech Republic is going to show up. I don't know if they're going to be shite or not. In fact, I've actually just noticed my camera's in the way. Well, as I said, brilliant channel. I would say subscribe, but there's no point. It's basically self-harm watching this video and the rest of them. Anyway, Canada are one of the other hosts in Group B, and they're playing against Bosnia. I like this Bosnian team, but I think they're going to get swept aside here against Canada, especially the first game of the tournament. For Canada, they're gonna win 3-1. Although I'm gonna have a look at the rest of the fixtures for Bosnia, but I do think they are gonna cause an upset, maybe. USA against Paraguay. I'm gonna say 1-0 to the US. Now again, I am predicting all the host nations to win, as they typically do win their opening games. I think Qatar was the only host nation to lose their opening game in a World Cup, and that was at the last World Cup. I'm pretty sure that's a real stat. Should I look it up? No, I'm not going to look it up, but I'm confident with that stat. What we got next up is, speaking of, Qatar against Switzerland. That one's going to be an interesting game. I'm going to say 1-1. I would like that. Hold on, let me just go up to the group, right? So if you check out Group B, is it? Yeah. Group B is a woeful group. Switzerland should be topping this. But I'm thinking of like either Canada can cause an upset or not. But I think most people are expecting Qatar to finish last, or Bosnia. But I'm not sure. I feel like that one's actually going to be an interesting group. Like all the games are going to be boring as fuck, but I think it could be actually interesting from like a really bad neutral point of view, as in like how shit teams are. Anyway, Brazil versus Morocco. This is going to be interesting because whoever wins this game, if there is a winner, tops the group. Oh, I don't know what Brazil's going to rock up though, because I know Neymar's fucked. Like he's absolutely injured, so I don't think he's going to be playing this one. Morocco are, I don't know, they've technically won AFCON, although they won it in the fucking, their lawyers won it for them rather than the players. I'm actually going to say a 2-1 win to Morocco, beating Brazil. I think Brazil, that's going to kick Brazil up the arse, and that should get them going in this tournament. But for Morocco, I think that should be enough to maybe see them top the group. I need to see the rest of the fixtures because I'm doing it as I'm looking at them. Like I have got like my favourites, which would be Spain. They're my favourites to win it. I have Argentina for a winner takes all betting thing with my mates, which I want them to win, and then I actually want Portugal myself to win just because I'd like Ronaldo to win it before he retires. Why did I say that? Oh yeah, because when I'm looking at the fixtures, yeah. But again, this channel's so shit. Anyway, Haiti against Scotland. This is Haiti's second World Cup. This was a surprise to me. I thought it was the first one, but no, it's not. How do I think it's going to go against Scotland? I think it's going to be 3-0 Scotland. This is going to be the first... No, sorry, the USA Paraguay. I was going to say it's the first game where, you know, both teams don't score, but my Paraguay over there kind of ruining that little fun fact for me. Australia against Turkey now. I think Turkey are my dark horses, I think. I'd have to, again, as I said, I have to see the other results, but I think they're going to cause a bit of an upset here. And I am going to say a 3-1 victory. In fact, 3-1 seems to be my most favourite scoreline so far. Log in to unlock match highlights. Wait, what's that? What it says? Match insight. Nah, we don't care about that. You know, this is Vibes FC on this fucking channel. Germany against Curacao. This is either going to be a massive disappointment for Germany, or it's going to be such a big scoreline. I'm going to say 5-0 Germany. So, a good start for the Germans. Netherlands, Japan. This is a brilliant match because the Netherlands have a somewhat shit squad compared to what they typically bring. A lot of the players have been out of form this season or injured or whatever. And Japan have actually gotten consistently better over the last 8 years. I'm going to say... Oh, what's something wild I can put for this? I feel like this is going to be like one of the standout games from match day 1. 3-3. Yeah, can we say that? Is that allowed? 3-3? Yeah, grand. We'll go 3-3 for that. I think it's going to be one of the standout games as well. So, yeah, we're going to go with that. I'm also not sure if he's conceded. In fact, you know what? I'll zoom in somewhere. But, oh, look at that. It zooms in up the top. That's mad. Anyway, they have percentages underneath, which, for example, I'll take Canada, for example. 49% for them to win. That's probability. 27% for Bosnia, and then 24% draw. That's just a fun fact for you, if any of you are interested in those numbers. That's what they mean. I assume you all do know. Or if you don't, well, I just taught you something. Alright. Ivory Coast against Ecuador. I know a lot of people are saying Ecuador are going to go far, but I don't know. I think we're going to say... Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say 0-0. It's going to be my first 0-0. Why? Well, I actually... This could be me, you know, listening to the bias from all the Ecuador hipsters, but I actually think Ivory Coast would do well enough. But I can't split them in my head anymore. I did. I was... Before I recorded this, I was pretty sure Ivory Coast were going to do something in the group, but... No, I'm not. Anyway, but we're just going to say it's 0-0. Sweden against Tunisia. So, fun fact for you guys. So, Sweden didn't win a single game in World Cup qualification. They either lost or they drew their games, but because they got far enough in the Nations League, they got into the playoff for the World Cup, which is absolute fucking bollocks. And then they ended up qualifying because they won the playoffs. I think it's a load of shite. The Nations League is woeful and needs to go. It's pointless. Just don't play the fucking international games. Just don't play the friendlies. Just get rid of the Nations League. It's a pointless tournament. And bullshit like that happens. Sweden do not deserve to be in this World Cup. However, they are going to beat Tunisia 2-1. Here we go. That's going to be their first fucking win in decades. If you exclude the playoffs. Anyway. That's not a fun fact, by the way. That's just my bias showing. But anyway. Spain against Cape Verde. This is going to be one of those massive score lines. I'm going to say 8-0. Spain are going to start this tournament off as they mean to go on. They're on absolute trash it. Belgium against Egypt. I don't know. I actually don't know. 1-0 Belgium? No, do you know what? No. Someone in my head, or not someone, something in my head is saying 2. So let's say 2-0. Saudi Arabia against Uruguay. Uruguay, I don't know what Uruguay is going to show up. Because they seem to do okay sometimes, and then they're fucking crap most of the time in these World Cups. I mean, like, what's the name of the fucking one? Copa America, they seem to be alright in. I'm going to say 1-1. I feel like this is going to be Uruguay slipping up, and they're going to just be shit. Iran, did they get visas? I don't know what's going on there. We're going to try and not get political with this. And we're just going to say, so they were denied visas because obviously the US and Iran are at war. I don't know if they're even in this tournament. Like, I think they should still be in because I haven't heard that they were kicked out yet or not. They might have moved their games to Mexico and Canada. But I did think they were originally had a few in the US. But what's going to happen here, it's going to be a 3-0 win against New Zealand. I think they are going to show up for a good bit. France against Senegal. So France are, I think they're the favourites to win it. I'm going to say 4-1. They're going to be Senegal. So that's going to be quite interesting. They're technically, well, is that technically a rivalry because of the history? Yeah, I'm going to say it is. Yeah, there we go. A nice little rivalry there. Iraq versus Norway. I'm going to say Norway are going to show up here. They're going to go 4-0. Norway, they're dark horses, as some would say. I don't think they are. I think it's very obvious that they've got some fantastic players. And I don't think this is their first World Cup. I think this is their second as well, maybe. 74? Was that the last time Norway were in a World Cup? I don't know, actually. I think it is. Alright, Argentina against Algeria. Alright, well, I've got Argentina for my own little draw, my friend group. Oh, right, let's try to be realistic here. I'm going to say like a calm 2-1 win against Algeria. Austria against Jordan. I do like Austria. I do, but I don't know what they're going to do. I'm going to say 1-0. It's going to be calm. Portugal, I would love for Portugal to win it, just for Ronaldo. It depends if they play Ronaldo or not, though. This is the thing, because they're shite when they play Ronaldo, despite the fact that he gets goals. Now, they just play woeful. When Ronaldo doesn't play, they play very fucking well. But I say Ronaldo's going to want to play. I'm going to say 2-0 win with Ronaldo coming off the bench to score 1. They shouldn't start him. They shouldn't, because if they get off to a bad start here, they could be screwed. England against Croatia. So this is a repeat of the 2018 semi-final, which Croatia won 2-1 after being 1-0 down after 5 minutes, which was absolutely terrifying to see. I did say on my community post, I did say that England were going to win the World Cup when I saw their squad. I was trying to think, I was like, well, they got rid of a lot of their superstars. A more tightly knit team, which made me think, oh yeah, you know, they could go far. And then I was just seeing everyone else's teams, like they're France, Spain, Argentina, you know, Portugal, and I'm like, oh, do you know what? Maybe they're fucked. So I'm not really too confident in that prediction anymore. But they should be beating Croatia. I'm gonna say 1-0. That's not very confident because I don't know what England's gonna show up. But I would suspect they should be getting out of their group. They should be topping it. Ghana against Panama. I actually don't know. 1-1, let's say. I just don't know what scoreline to put. Uzbekistan against Colombia. I'll say 3-0 Colombia. And that is match day 1. Sorted. Alright. Match day 2. So we've got the Czech Republic against South Africa. I think we're going to see a 1-0 win by the Czechs. We've got Switzerland against Bosnia. Oh. 1-1, I think. That might be the upset I was talking about. Canada against Qatar. I think we're going to see a 2-1 win there. That should be Qatar knocked out. Mexico against South Korea. 2-1 Mexico. Yeah, we'll go with that. USA against Australia. Again, 2-1 win. Seems to be very common with me for this match day. Scotland against Morocco. I think it's going to be a 3-1 win to Morocco. Ecuador against Curacao. I think it's going to be a 4-0 win to Ecuador. Brazil against Haiti. I think it's going to be a 4-0 win. Brazil, they got to kick up the ass from the Morocco game, so they started scoring. Turkey against Paraguay. I'm going to say a 5-1 win to Turkey. So we're really getting some match results now. Netherlands against Sweden. I'm going to say 3-2 Netherlands, and they're going to be very fucking lucky for that 3-2. Germany against the Ivory Coast, I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. Yeah, we'll go with that. Tunisia against Japan, I'm going to say a 2-1 win Japan. Spain against Saudi Arabia, I'm going to say 5-0 Spain. Again, as I said, they're my favourites to win this. Belgium against Iran, 2-1 Belgium. Then Uruguay against Cape Verde, I'm going to say a 2-1 win to Uruguay. Lucky to win. Norway against Senegal, I'm going to say 3-1 win to Norway. New Zealand against Egypt. I actually don't know. I'm not saying like New Zealand are going to win or draw. It's how much Egypt are going to win by. And will New Zealand score? I say they will score, but I think they'll lose 3-1. Argentina against Austria, I'm going to say 1-1. Remember, I have got Argentina, so I do want them to win the fucking thing so I can get some money. France against Iraq, I'm saying 5-1. Jordan against Algeria, 1-1, I think. Portugal against Uzbekistan, I'm going to say 3-0. England against Ghana, 2-1. That has the 2-1 written all over. Panama against Croatia, that has 3-1 written all over, I think. But I think Panama are going to score first. And then Colombia against Dr. Congo, I'm going to say 5-1. That's some mad results right there. Like, Jesus Christ. Alright, match day 3. And this should be the ones that decide the groups. So, Switzerland against Canada. This is for Group B. I'm going to say 3-1 to Switzerland. Bosnia against Qatar. I'm going to say a 2-1 victory to Bosnia. Scotland against Brazil. I'm going to say a 4-2 win for Brazil, but it's going to be like close. Scotland are going to put up a massive fight, and then the last like 10 minutes, Brazil will just take over and dismantle them. Morocco against Haiti. I'm going to say 6-0 to Morocco. Czech Republic against Mexico. I'm going to say 2-2 there. Although I could see Czechia winning that. So Africa against South Korea. 1-1, I think. Ecuador against Germany. I can see that being 2-1 victory to Ecuador. But I do think Germany are going to slip a little. Curacao against the Ivory Coast. I can see that being a 1-1 draw. Tunisia against the Netherlands. I can see that being a 1-1 draw as well. Japan against Sweden. Now you're going to laugh at me. That's another 1-1 draw. Oops. That's 3 in a row. Uruguay against Spain. Now that's definitely not a 1-1 draw. That's... I don't even think Uruguay are going to get a fucking shot off in that. I'm going to say 4-0 Spain. Cape Verde against Saudi Arabia. I'm going to say a 2-1 victory to Saudi Arabia. Turkey against the USA. I'm going to say a 3-1 win to Turkey. I think they're going to shock the US. Paraguay against Australia. I think that's going to be 1-1. It's going to be boring, just like a lot of these results so far. Norway against France. Going to be a brilliant game, but it's going to be 3-1 France. No, that's 4, Lee. That's a 3. Senegal against Iraq. I think that's going to be 2-1 Senegal. New Zealand against Belgium. I think that's going to be 5-0 Belgium. They should be waking up this late into the tournament. Well, group stage. Egypt against Iran. That's actually a good game. I actually think that'd be a very good game. 1-1, I think I'm going to put. Panama against England. I think England are just going to... They're going to be trying to be cautious of what they're doing, especially since they don't have their superstars. I think they'll be more of a unit. I think they're going to be also a bit more cautious. So I think they're just going to score and then just relax. And also, Panama have a 3% chance of winning that. Fucking hell. I think that's the lowest percent I've seen so far. Croatia against Ghana. That's going to be a 2-1 win to Croatia. Colombia against Portugal. It's going to be a 1-0 win to Colombia. And Dr. Congo against Uzbekistan is going to be a... Fuck it, 0-0. I don't know what way to put that. Jordan against Argentina. I think Jordan will score, but Argentina are going to get 5. And then Algeria against Austria. I'm going to say 3-1 Austria. Now, there's a problem. Football Meets Data wants me to pay a subscription in order for it to calculate the groups for me and simulate the rest of the tournament. So, what I'm going to do is take a break. I'm going to calculate my own group. And then I'm going to come back and we can do the remaining 16 or round 32 onwards, using FIFA's predictor instead. And that way you just find out who I think is going to top the groups. Right, so thankfully, I didn't have to calculate anything myself because World Football Net has done it for me. So the results from World Football Net, we're going to input them into FIFA's predictor, and we're going to go from there because at least the UI on FIFA's a lot better than World Football Net. However, I do think this is fantastic. It's the most in-depth one I've seen on World Football Net. So thanks to them for saving me a lot of time having to calculate goal difference and all that. It's done it for me. So according to World Football Net, Mexico's finishing first, with Czech Republic second, South Korea third, and South Africa fourth. That is probably what I would have expected, to be quite honest with you, with that one. Mexico getting 7 points, Czech Republic getting 5. That could have been Ireland. It could have been Ireland. And I do actually think if Ireland had been in here, we would have had a really good chance of finishing second. But they couldn't fucking do it. They blew it away 2-0 up, and Ryan fucking Manning ruins it. Arsehole. Anyway, Group B. Let's just forget about that. You know, oh my god, Ireland could have been fucking here. Would have been nice to see them in a fucking World Cup. Last time they were in a World Cup, I was 2. Anyway, I'm just going to end up ranting here. So, Canada finished top, but barely, with Switzerland following through. That is interesting there. I wasn't expecting that. I thought based on the results I was putting in, that Canada were going to finish second with Switzerland on top. But again, that's the thing about predicting each scoreline for every match. You can't see the table in real time. I mean, Bosnia finished third and Qatar finished fourth. That's roughly what I was expecting. Qatar having a woeful World Cup, and Bosnia very close to going through. In fact, they could actually go through as one of the 8 out of 12 best third place teams, which would be massive. As I'm pretty sure that's their first ever World Cup. Group C has Morocco on top. They win all their games. Remember, I do think they are going to beat Brazil. With Brazil in second, Scotland in third, and Haiti last. In fact, Haiti don't even score a goal, and they concede 13. So not a good showing from them. Group D, you've got Turkey finishing top, which is, yeah, that's fair. I do think they are the dark horses. USA finishing behind them. Australia finishing ahead of Paraguay on goal difference, thanks to Turkey's amazing performance against them. So next up, we got Group E, which has Germany, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, and Curacao. So Ecuador finished on top, which is, yeah, what I expect. Germany finished in second, Ivory Coast in third, and Curacao in fourth. And Curacao actually go and score a fucking goal, so they're doing better than Haiti. Alright, so Group F is the Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia, with the Netherlands finishing above Japan on goal difference, which is very interesting. And then Sweden finished third, although this time, unlike their fucking World Cup qualification journey, they actually win a game here. So, at least then you can say if they go through, they deserve it. And then Tunisia finished bottom. Alright, Group G, you've got Belgium, Iran, Egypt, and New Zealand. So, Belgium finished top, they win all their games, that's fair enough. Then it's followed by Iran, then Egypt, and then finally New Zealand. Group H has Spain, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay, and Cape Verde, with Spain scoring 17 goals and not conceding a single one. I think they done that in the 2010 World Cup, didn't they? It was something similar like that. No, they lost to Switzerland in the opening game, and after that they pretty much trashed everyone. I can see something similar happening here. Anyway, Uruguay finished second on goal difference over Saudi Arabia, who are just behind them. And then the Cape Verde are a mess at last, but you know what? They gave it a good go. Once you ignore the amount of goals they fucking conceded. Anyway, Group I, France, most people's favourites. They finished top, absolutely trashed the place. Norway finished second, which, yeah, they done well. Senegal in third, and Iraq last. Group J, you've got Argentina, who I have for my bets. I need them to win overall. So they win the group, followed by Austria, then Algeria, and then Jordan. In fact, this one's pretty much, a battle between Argentina and Austria, because Algeria and Jordan, they ain't going anywhere. Group K, we've got Ronaldo in this one, along with Colombia, Dr. Congo, and Uzbekistan. And it's Colombia who tops the group, followed by Portugal, who aren't really under much threat of getting knocked out here against Dr. Congo and Uzbekistan, with Dr. Congo finishing above Uzbekistan on goal difference. And then finally, the last group we've got, Group L, with England, who win all their games, narrowly some of them. Then followed by Croatia, and then Ghana and Panama, who fight over a goal difference. Alright, so now I get to pick the 8 out of 12 best third place teams. So this one's actually quite easy because all the points I don't need goal difference or anything like that. It's literally just points. I did do the calculations myself just to verify that worldfootball.net was correct with it. So South Korea from Group A, they're going through. Then it's Bosnia from Group B. Then Scotland from Group C are going through. Australia are the first team not to go through because they only got 1 point. In fact, the 4 teams that aren't going through got 1 point. The lowest points someone could get through and go through was 2 points, which was South Korea. So Algeria are also one of those teams that aren't going through. The Ivory Coast are going through. Sweden are going through. Dr. Congo aren't going through. Saudi Arabia are going through. And Ghana aren't going through. In fact, I think it was actually Egypt as well are going through. So, and Senegal, sorry. So Australia, Algeria, Dr. Congo, and Ghana are the teams that don't make it through. So, unlucky for them. Oh, look at this. It actually tells you what stadium it's in. It doesn't tell you the time, but it tells you the stadium. That's quite cool, actually. Wow. That's so cool. Anyway, let's have a look at these fixtures. Round of 32, by the way. So we've got Ecuador against Scotland. That is an interesting match. Because I do like Scotland. But I think Ecuador have better players. I do like Scotland though. Oh, this is tough. This game is actually tough to... Oh, fuck. I do think Ecuador have better players, but I think Scotland play better as a group. I also like Scotland more. Never been, but I wouldn't mind going. Right, we'll go with Scotland. But that is like penalties. Like I can't predict the scoreline, which is a bit of a shame. But I'd say like 2-2, and then it goes to penalties and Scotland win like 3-2 or something like that. France against Sweden, easy. France go through, and it's, I don't know, like a 3-1 win. Yeah, calm enough. The Czech Republic could have been Ireland against Switzerland. I actually think the Czechs are going to scumbag their way through. 1-1, and then another penalty shootout win. I don't know, like 4-2 on pens. They'll go through. Then it's Netherlands against Brazil. Oh, that's a good game now. Brazil are going to go through here because Netherlands they're lacking in their squad this year. I don't like what is it, Coman's managing them? I don't like what he's done. I'm gonna go Brazil, and I'm gonna say a 2-1 win, but it's gonna be a narrow victory. I think the Netherlands will put up a good scrap here, and Brazil are just gonna be incredibly rocky and all over the place. Then we've got Portugal against Croatia. Portugal are gonna win. As long as they don't start Ronaldo, or if they do start Ronaldo, they take him off relatively early. I don't know, like a 2-1 win extra time. So 1-1 going into extra time, then I don't know, Ronaldo scores or something like that. Or no, hold on. It's going to be a winger. Rafael Leao? Yeah, he'll score the winner. Spain against Austria, it's going to be Spain. I don't know, this could be like a 4-1 win. You know, comprehensive victory for Spain there. It's going to be nice and easy. Then we've got Turkey against Bosnia. This is the end of the road for Bosnia, unfortunately, but you know, they've done themselves proud for the first World Cup. Turkey are going to take over here. They're going to get a 3-1 win. Bam, there you go. Belgium against South Korea. It's going to be Belgium to go through, and it'll probably be like a 3-1 victory. I think it'll be pretty comprehensive, that. Morocco against Japan. This is actually tough. This game is tough because Morocco are obviously very good. Japan, I really like Japan. The football team, I've never been to the country, couldn't tell you. I want to say Japan, but I think Morocco are going to edge it. 1-0. Very close game. Dodgy calls. Refs are going to be the star of the shows as usual. Yeah, I'm calling that. Germany against Norway. I'm going to say Norway here. I think this is actually going to be an upset. I know, like a 3-2 Norway victory. 87th minute winner from Strand Larsen. Yeah, there we go. Calling that one. Mexico against Saudi Arabia. We're going to go with a Mexico victory. We're going to say 3-1, but the third goal will be scored like 96th minute. As Saudi Arabia are attacking. And with that victory for Mexico, it means that Saudi Arabia won't be giving them any oil for the next few years. So, unlucky Mexico. All right, England against Senegal. Did these guys play? I think was that the 2018 World Cup? I might be mixing them up with Colombia. And around the 16 stage penalties. I think that was Colombia. I want to say Senegal because obviously, I don't really want England winning the World Cup. But I think they've got enough to get past Senegal. If they don't, Tuchel has to get sacked. Especially with the lineup and the squad that he brought, he has to at least get semi-finals, I think. But yeah, I think they're going to beat Senegal, and it'll be 2-1, but they'll go 1-0 down first to a Sadio Mane penalty, and then they'll fight their way back throughout the game. Right, Argentina against Uruguay. That's next. Argentina are going through. I think it'll be 3-1 win, and Uruguay will be, lucky to score an own goal from, Otamendi will score an own goal. Why is he starting this game or playing at all? I don't know, but look, he scores an own goal. Oh, no way. Oh, my God. This is gas. The USA against Iran. Wow, okay, I didn't know that was going to happen. Oh, fantastic. Right. I'm going to go Iran. Fuck it. I don't think I can really pick one here that isn't going to cause loads of outrage. I'm going to go with Iran because I think this is going to be so... This is going to be, a woeful match if this actually happens. But I think even with the pressure from the crowd and all, I think Iran are gonna shit the bed, ruin the party. Canada against Egypt. I'm gonna go with Egypt, and it's gonna be a penalty shootout, 0-0, and then penalty shootout. I don't know, like fucking 4-3 for Egypt. All right, and then we've got Colombia against Ivory Coast. It's gonna be Colombia, and it's gonna be a 3-1 win to Colombia. Right, so that means that our reigning 16 ties are Scotland against France. We've got... will we do this one by one? Yeah, we'll do it one by one. It's going to be France that are beating Scotland there, unfortunately, for everyone that likes Scotland there. France are far too good. I think they've got 4 different fucking squads they could bring to this tournament and still probably reach the quarterfinals every time. Minimum. France are going to beat Scotland here. It's going to be 4-1, I think. It's going to be horrible to watch. I think this is going to be bad. So then we've got the Czech Republic, could be Ireland, against Brazil. Brazil are going to win here. It's going to be, I don't know, like a 2-1 win, but again, it's not going to be convincing. Brazil are not going to be convincing in this tournament, but they're going to do enough just to get through every time. Kind of like England in 2018 World Cup. And you know what? Was it 22 World Cup as well, or was that the Euros I was thinking of, where they were shite? It might have been the Euros as well. They were just crap in that tournament, but they'd done enough to get through every single time they were asked. So Brazil are going to be, acting like that. Portugal against Spain. As much as I would like Portugal to win it, there's only Spain, and this is going to be one of those classic matchups. I think we're going to have like a 4-2 Spain. But it's going to be like a close game. Like it could literally go either way. Literally up until like the 90th minute. Either team could win that. That's going to be a very good match to watch. Turkey against Belgium. I think Turkey are going to win. And it's going to be a 2-1 victory to Turkey. And Belgium are just going to collapse in this game. I think they're going to get a bit cocky. And they're just going to fall apart. Morocco against Norway. This is a fantastic match. Oh shit. Because Norway have fantastic players. Morocco have been playing very well for a while now. Oh, fuck, I actually don't know. My head's telling me Morocco. I'll go with Morocco. But that's close. This is if it's not a penalty shootout, it's late in extra time that the winner scored. So I'm gonna say 2-2, and then a 3-2 victory to Morocco on penalties. But that's gonna be a close game if that happens. Right, Mexico City Stadium. This is the final game that's been played in Mexico. I'm pretty sure that's the Azteca Stadium. It's been renamed to Mexico City Stadium for this tournament, which is no, it's the Azteca. It's Mexico against England. It depends what England shows up, whether they can beat Mexico or not. Because I think Mexico are going to be on a high, especially in the final game of the tournament in Mexico. It's in the capital. Mexico are playing against England. Do they have enough? Kane could easily do it himself. Oh, I don't know. I think this is, for me so far, this is the closest game. So far that I'm have to predict. I'm actually considering just skipping and coming back to it. See, I don't know with Morocco and Norway where I said I went with my head and picked Morocco. My head's telling me Mexico. But the only reason why I'm not doing it just yet is because for, what was it, USA-Iran, it's the exact same thing, home advantage. You're playing against, well, I suppose the USA one's even more, tough because of the politics involved with that game. I'm going to go Mexico, I think. That is, I don't know. My head's telling me Mexico. We'll move on, but I might come back to that one. I don't know. I'm not fully convinced. Argentina against Iran. It's going to be a 3-1 Argentina victory, and that's going to be nice and simple. And then the final round of 16 games, Egypt against Colombia. It's going to be a Colombian victory. Probably 3-1 again. A couple penalties in there. Back to Mexico and England. This can either be a 2-1 Mexican victory, or it's going to be a 1-0. No, it's 2-1 either way, actually. You know what? I'm going to pick Mexico, and I think Tuchel's squad picks that he's picked for this tournament are going to backfire, and he's going to get fucked. And this is him sacked. He'll lose to Mexico. And Mexico will break the round of 16 curse. I know they didn't get past it in the last World Cup, they got grouped, but they'll break it this time and they'll get to the quarterfinals. Yeah, we'll go with that. How does that sound? Weird? Terrible? Yeah, I know. Alright, next up, we've got France against Brazil. On paper, it's a brilliant game, but it's going to be just completely dominated by France. We're going to say 3-1 for France. That's the first quarterfinal done. Second one, Spain against Turkey. It's going to be Spain. Spain are going to win 4-1. Spain at this point are going to start lowering down the gears now. Because they're going to be playing more conservative. They're not going to be trying to absolutely destroy everyone. Because they know that the opposition are getting tougher. No Cape Verde or Saudi Arabia is around. In fact, I don't even know if Saudi Arabia are in their group or not. Anyway, the next quarterfinal is Morocco against Mexico. I think Morocco are going to win here. I think it's going to be just enough for Morocco to win, say 3-1, but a close game. Did I give my score prediction for Spain and Turkey? I did, yes. I think I said 4-1. Right, and then the final quarterfinal is Argentina against Colombia. Another derby for Argentina. They're playing a lot of South American teams. Argentina are going to win, and it'll be a very close 2-1 win. But I think Messi's going to score a fantastic free kick here, world-class free kick to get them through. Right. Semi-final time. We've got France against Spain. Top 2 in the world at the moment. One's going out. See, I do think Spain are winning the whole fucking thing, don't they? I'm going to go with Spain, but it's going to be quite possibly that's going to be game of the tournament. That game. Yeah, we're going to say that game of the tournament, and it's going to be end to end. It's going to end 3-3, and then extra time. Spain will get the last minute fourth goal, and they'll go through to the final. Sending France into the third place playoff. And then Morocco against Argentina. Argentina are going to come out 2-0 winners, and it's going to be very close. But that's going to be back-to-back semi-finals for Morocco. So well done to them, and for Argentina and France. Where does Spain come in the World Cup in 22? I don't actually know. Anyway, so the third place playoffs between Morocco and France. It's going to be France that win that, and it's going to be a dull game. It'll probably be 1-0 France. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then the final is Spain against Argentina. As much as I want Argentina to win, so I financially benefit from it, I do think Spain are going to win. I think it's going to be a good game. It's not going to be as good as France-Spain, but it's going to be good enough. I think Spain's strong start in the group stage, where they absolutely trashed Cape Verde, Uruguay, and whoever else was in their group, carried them through to the knockout rounds, where who they even played? They played Austria, which they done well against. Portugal, a rivalry, they beat them there. That done enough. Turkey, they didn't really have to get out of third gear to beat. France, game of the tournament, last minute winner, send them through to the final. I think that was enough to motivate them to go on and beat Argentina in the final. For Argentina to beat Uruguay at Derby, sure. They beat Iran, which didn't have to get out of third gear. Beat Colombia, again another rivalry, but again, it's close, but it's not a good performance. Morocco, they beat, good game, but I don't know. I just think Spain's run benefits them more if this is what happens. But yeah, there you go. Spain are my winners. Well done. I've literally gone through every game, predicted every scoreline. Yeah, fucking hell. I've done everything there. Calculated fucking goal difference and everything. But there we go. Spain are winning the 2026 World Cup against Argentina, who I'm going to lose some money, so Flanders is getting a bit of cash for that. Well done to him. Alright. After the group stage is done, I'm going to come back and I'm going to react to my group stage predictions. And thankfully I can only skip until towards the end of this video when I actually have the group stage predicted. I can go through it then. Right, thanks everyone, and I'll see you in, a month's time for a review of these horrible predictions.